Greetings, everybody. We are back around our own phones in our own homes again here today, bringing you another one of our fun little live streams. Today, I was carrying my Shot Show Rift.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty with the carbon fiber and G-Kin combo there.
Definitely. It definitely makes the Rift a knife that I would pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Still just S30 though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went on a hike today, actually with my older brother and with a really good friend of mine, and it was only fitting that I bring out one of my dad's favorite knives. So I was rocking a buck 110 today.
Very nice.
So this is the Cabela Special with the S30 as well. So she ain't just no plain buck 110. She's a fancy one.
Very nice. What are you carrying, Joe?
Today it was the 804 from ZT.
Very nice.
Still a lot of fun.
And I got a little something different this week. Little something going on here. We'll just check out that brilliant thing. Yeah,
Very nice.
in all its glory. No, but on all seriousness, I'm carrying my anthem.
Yeah, yep.
Quick shout out to Darren Windsor. What's going on, brother?
Hey,
and
man.
Justin. Justin actually made it on time. Matt
You
Hoff is
remembered
here.
for once.
Indeed.
Greetings, Matt.
What's going on, Matt? What are you guys carrying tonight? And we talked last week a little bit about the Mini Super Freak, the Luco, and I think we should come back around to now that you've actually handled it and stuff like that. How do you guys feel about both of those?
I really like the Mini Super Freak. That's really nice and kind of tempting.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking about it. Other than the Rift, I think I don't have any actual carbon fiber blades or handles. I mean,
Okay.
and I don't have anything with S90, so it's kind of tempting.
Indeed.
and the Luco?
The Luco, back when Benchmade used to have that machete with the orange handle.
Yeah.
Yep. The first thing that popped into my head when I picked that up was this is the perfect machete to give out to a Boy Scout troop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same thing about the Luco. It's a really nice size to give to like a 8 to 16-year-old as something a little bit bigger that they can go chop with.
Yeah, learn some bushcrafty skills and stuff like that with it.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to interject really quick and say that apparently, what was I saying? Sorry, Matt Hoff is carrying the Sabenta 21 today
Nice.
with a GEC 13 and a Bark River Little Creek.
Yeah, I've got the Little Creek Skinner.
Okay, you've
It's
got
my
one
little
there, too.
upswept one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was.
Nice little blade.
Darren Windsor is carrying the Silver Rift and the Liverpool Assassin.
Excellent.
Because, of course.
Because nothing says Sunday like a cricket bat.
Yeah, holy shit.
Damn sweet.
John's carrying his CJRB Gobi. So what's going on, John? Welcome to watching us tonight.
Hey, buddy.
And I just want to say, John appreciated that.
As he should.
Yeah. And then Matt Hoff has a Super Freak, and it's an awesome, great knife. Sorry. What do you think, Dennis?
Actually, before Dennis, the last thing I wanted to say about the Luco is the first thing that I said when I got it in my hand. I just kind of looked down and went, fuck, I feel like such a giant with this in my hand.
Yeah. Literally, filled up the entire handle.
Yeah, for me, the Luco the handle ratio wasn't proportionate. They kept it almost identical to the Puko size, and I was hoping for something a little more to give you some options on grip options and things like that. But
Hmm.
when I have to hold that knife with that rubber grip, I would take the Puko as far as which one or whatever over top of the Luco. I wish they had scaled the whole thing up a little bit bigger, and it probably would have made Nigel happier too. So,
Oh yeah.
the Mini Super Freak will be coming home with me. I
Of
don't know
course.
how soon it'll be coming home with me, but there's a couple other purchases for knife candy in the way first, and then that one will be rocking the EDC crowd shelf here soon for sure. So
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no,
I'm pretty sure it's picking my North Fork EDC. I think the North Fork's getting the boot when
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Mini
That would be a
Super
good replacement.
Carbon fiber S or M390, it better.
seems like an appropriate response. It really surprised me how much the Luco, like the fact that they changed the handle at all, but only changed it an eighth of an inch, seems like a wasted opportunity. Either keep it the exact same size, or increase it like you're saying there, where you can get different grips and stuff like that on it. But kind of expanding it an eighth of an inch just doesn't seem like worth it. It doesn't seem like why go through the effort of like changing the design and having to go through all of like the 3D design work and stuff like that to make the molds and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they had to make a second one and they're just like, they have to start from scratch no matter what. I don't know. But
Maybe because I think the blade's a little bit taller as it comes into the handle, just because it does flare out towards the tip a little bit. So maybe they did have to do some sort of tweaking, but yeah, agreed it was a wasted opportunity to actually make it different.
that's it.
I think my thoughts
Justin?
pretty much. Oh,
Sorry. Justin's just saying real quick that the grind on the Luco and the super obvious Ritter shape on the Mini Super Freak offend him.
What do you mean the freaks are just a Ritter without being able to give credit to Ritter? It's not his shape at all.
no, not even close.
Give me the Hogue version, I'd carry it too. I don't discriminate.
Yep.
Yeah, true. New person in the chat today. I don't think I've seen them before. BB, hat tip the boys. Hope everyone's doing great. We
I'm
are.
assuming that's Mr. Brandon.
Is it? What's going
I
on,
believe
Brandon?
so. Hey, brother.
What are you carrying tonight? Yeah, I just wanted to kind of reiterate or go back to, because a couple of the guys hadn't handled those knives, just to see if their thoughts had changed or if they stayed the same. And it looks like, for the most part, they pretty much stayed the same, except for the Luco for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys were both kind of on board with the Mini Freak before too, right?
Yep.
So
The Luco was definitely took a step down after I got it in hand. I wanted to like it. I was hoping that the handle ratio would be big enough to make a difference, but
For me, if
I
that
was in
blade.
that same.
Oh.
I was in that
Okay,
same
Roger.
boat, Dennis, but it was more like I was in a dinghy being towed behind the boat with my hope.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't expect much.
a little dinky hope, you know.
Yeah.
I just want there to be 1 more inch on the end of that blade. The handle could be a little larger, but I want the blade to be large. It's not that much bigger than the Puko to justify a whole new model for me. It's too similar for me to want it, and I think I'm kind of with Dennis on that. If I was going to choose between one and the other, I'd probably just go with the Puko. Which
Which I have, but I'm going to be honest. Of the four of us, I like it the most, although I am disappointed by it compared to what I was hoping for.
Yep.
There's a good chance that I'm still going to end up picking one up at some point. I still
Sure.
have the idea in my head of doing a traditional Puko Luco leather sheath for the modern Puko Luco combination. I like the juxtaposition of those two things.
He just
Um,
likes saying it. Let's be honest.
Juxtaposition.
We all know.
Go.
You sure you're not just gonna duct tape the two sheets together and slide that onto your belt?
That's what I said.
Excellent.
Quick shout out to Mr. Fisk. What's going on, brother? What are you carrying tonight?
Good day.
And then yeah, I guess do we want to get to some of the verses stuff?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other questions, so we're going to go to questions from the audience after we go through these. So think of some good questions, and we'll let you know when to bring them forth.
For sure. For our first round, we bring you the generic Damascus knife seller on Instagram versus Laren Thomas with his own Damascus knives.
Indeed. It's always so dramatic.
I do what I can.
Nice. Quick mention, Mr. Fisk surprisingly is carrying a Sabenza,
Yep.
large black, and a large Wilson Combat drop point.
Not bad.
That's the
choice.
right answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Wilson combat stuff is sexy.
absolutely.
Indeed. Mr. Fisk has some friggin' classy knives, that's for sure.
That he does.
I don't think it's going to come as any surprise to anybody that Laren, what was it? Thomas?
Thomas.
So this one got a little screwed up, if I'm being completely honest. I wrote down Laren Tomascus because I started writing Thompson and then changed it when I was writing it down. And when I Googled it, Laren Thompson came up. So I meant Thomas, but I said Thompson. And that might be why he only won 63% to 37%. I figured that one was going to be our first 100% zero.
Yeah. Well, I got to admit, I did vote for the generic Damascus guy just for the fact that he's going to have like how many dump trucks full of his shit? He can just bury Laren.
None. Those knives don't exist. Roping you in with no actual stock.
Like I said,
lovely.
dump trucks full of his shit.
Oh, touche.
Oh,
But yeah, the 63% to 37% kind of works out to a 19-11 spread, which is closer than I expected, even though it is almost kind of almost 2-1. And yeah, I was going to say that you voted for Damascus guy. Darren Windsor voted for Damascus guy. I'm doing a little shaming right now, just for the record. Mr.
I stayed out of the voting this weekend. I stayed anonymous.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Mr. Fisk did. Everyday Caleb did. Gear Institute did. So I guess they all had a similar idea to you, where it's just like, how many knives can he have? Every single one of them, and just keep throwing them until you're buried?
Yep.
It's not
Until the world has entire garbage piles of crappy Damascus knives. Like that's how the apocalypse happens. It's just a wasteland of crappy Damascus.
Collapses under the weight of
all of his shit.
Denzel Washington is blind with a machete, hacking through.
We're gonna find out that the ball is around a flat plate. Yeah. Combination world. It's both.
Hey Joe, can you
show ringers?
Yeah.
World?
Joe, can you meet Paul?
Can
For the
I?
best.
Yes.
Please.
Should I? I mean,
Yes.
Also, yes.
but he's got to tell us about the stats for who wins, because I don't know that information.
That's true. I am the keeper of the information.
This is an abuse of power. We should put some legislation in place to prevent this in the future.
Somebody else will have to take the Pokey phone.
The Pokey phone. No, I hate that.
Just for the record, that was coined last week when I was talking to Mr. Fisk.
Fair enough.
It's the Pokey phone. Round 2?
Round 2.
Get me out of this?
Just before we get any further, if it is the
Yeah.
Pokey phone, you need to like make the ringtone the old school Batman theme.
No, 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 Pokey phone.
I'm just saying. It
I
would
don't know if I can do it with
funny.
the Pokey phone in there, but I can definitely do the old school bat phone.
That's mainly, yeah.
Yeah, can happen.
Indeed.
Can happen.
With the text being the when it changes scenes.
It's awful. Awful.
Yes.
But
You know these are all the right things. Anyway, let's continue on.
Quickly, before we jump in, just Justin's mentioning the plot twist is that Laren Thomas melts down all the Damascus knives and creates a new super steel. Mouth doesn't work. I'm in the wrong profession.
You don't admit to it.
No, I'm a mush mouth on the best of times. And Mr. Hoff is asking us what we're drinking tonight. So I'm drinking some grapefruit sodas.
Stella, it's a go-to. Monster Energy, because Joe's
A psycho.
going hard. Yeah.
I got some G Fuel energy drink with some vodka in it.
Nice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's that kind of an evening. Yeah.
Nigel's going to be a hyper drunk later. Like, yeah.
Been there. I've been there.
Ring, ring, ring. Banana phone.
You're giving me flashbacks, man.
Joe, can you mute Nigel?
Yes. No argument for that one. Oh,
Let's go on to round 2 and save all of ourselves.
please. I don't want to think about banana phone anymore.
For round 2, we bring you Bear Grylls with one of his Gerber Survival Bear Grylls knives versus Les Stroud with his own Camillus Survival Knife.
Nice.
This one might surprise some people.
Yep.
It doesn't surprise me. The guy that I wanted to win won. Les Stroud took it 74%, to 26%. But Bear Grylls, outside of his TV show, is like a legitimate badass.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the
he was in
military.
like the British
Yeah.
Army.
Yeah, climbed Everest, like.
It's not his fault
But
that
I want
Gerber
Les
makes
Stroud
crap
to win
knives.
too.
It's not his fault he was willing to put on a bit of fakery for money.
Drink his own piss.
Yep.
Yeah, I do
Well,
believe, and I kept my answers anonymous this week, but I believe Bear Grylls
How
would
did you keep
actually
your
win
answers
that fight
anonymous?
realistically.
Just keep it
Yeah.
to yourself. Or did you get somebody else to vote for you?
What's this now?
So did you get somebody else to vote in your stead?
No, I just didn't vote this weekend.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so Les took it almost 3-1, 31-11. He was
Crazy.
killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well, the problem is that Bear Grylls halfway through the knife fight would just go find a hotel and,
Yeah.
and stay there and then come back the next morning. And they already gave the award to Les Stroud at that point, right? So
and get taken out by a Les Stroud giant figure 4 trap.
Yeah, I think it'll all depend on the situation. Like if it's in a WWF death cage match and there's nowhere to run, Bear Grylls will win just from the army background sort of thing. But if it's like the Hunger Games survival dome sort of thing and they've got like the force to run through, yeah, Les Strauss is going to win because he'll do like the better traps and won't have to succumb to the temptation of finding a hotel at some point. And yeah.
Nah. My headcanon is that
genuinely-
they run into each other in at like a superstore. Les knocks the eggs out of Bear's basket and doesn't want to admit that it was wrong. So they both pull knives and start like squaring off in the middle of like a superstore. That's
I'm gonna be honest. What I had flashed through my head as we're talking about this right now was Les Stroud, but everything else about the scene is that scene in the first Predator movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger is covered in mud and stuck against the wall and opens his eyes.
Actually, part of the image I had when I was talking about the Hunger Games thing was thinking of Les just covered in mud.
Yeah.
Does that mean Bear Grylls is all like creeping around clicking as he's
Bear Grylls can use echolocation. That is amazing.
And
No, he's just going around clicking.
he's got one of those clickers.
it's a nervous energy. He's a little twitchy.
I don't like anything about that, for the record.
No. Justin saying that Les would wait until Bear got dehydrated, which is, I mean, how many times can you drink your own piss before you get dehydrated?
Twice.
Many?
Don't ask him.
Well, Paul, I'm going to leave that up to you to experiment with.
Nope, I'm good.
That's going to be the next Patreon level right there.
How many times can Paul drink his own piss?
No.
Tune in to the answer of that question next week.
No. None of that. I watched a YouTuber like 2 weeks ago with like 20 million followers do a piss sauna.
Yeah.
Get us to 20 million followers and we'll see.
And us, you got the Pokey phone. Like,
Right here.
I'm sorry, piss sauna? Can we
Piss sauna.
can you explain that to me?
So
I don't
in a
think it
sauna,
needs to be
you've got
explained.
rocks that heat up, and
Right.
you put water on it to make the steam.
So it's just piss instead of water.
Yeah.
And
That's
it was
horrifying.
One of personal saunas. So
I don't know
it
what's
was
worse,
them
this
sitting
topic
outside.
or the fact that Joe didn't understand this topic. Like,
Right?
I didn't think it would be so straightforward. I thought there was some like
You're overthinking the act of piss sauna way too much, Joe.
yeah. I thought there was more to it. I'm like, no, it can't be that stupid. Can it?
Yes. It
Yes.
is.
Yes, it can. Wow.
For the record, Mr. Fisk is asking in chat how much for that level. No, you can go fuck yourself. No. No.
how much for
Come on.
that level?
There's not enough money that you could offer me.
That is good.
That's all right. There's 3 other members that can discuss this.
Fuck you.
I'll have you know my number is surprisingly low.
I've been out hungry.
So, Sloppy Joseph, the cheap whore.
Yep, more or less.
There you go. Also, Justin is saying he's not clicking. It's just his Gerber rattling as he's walking through the forest.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Well, no, he's got one of those like Gerber cheese grater tinder box maker things. And he's not good at Tinder, so there's just a chunk of something inside it that's making the clicking noise as well. Because you had to waste $25 to learn how to make Tinder.
So how did you get pebbles in here? They're larger than the holes.
I thought
was
that's how you
making
made
Tinder. He was trying to get a spark off of the cheese grater
Oh,
with one of the rocks, using it as a flint and steel.
I wonder what
Yeah,
would
'cause-
happen if you scraped that against a cheese grater.
the cheese grater would take a chunk out of the Gerber, probably.
No, not the Gerber. This.
Oh, the ferro rod.
a ferro rod. I
One way
wonder
to find out.
Yes. Is this where I admit to the fact that I don't actually own a cheese grater?
It's okay. I've got a cheese grater drawer. The whole
That's-
drawer dedicated to cheese grater.
That's too many graters.
That
It's
is-
too many
But
drawers too.
those are-
Like, it's-
So, on to the next round, or did we even say?
Oh no, it was like a 31-11, but I think it was
Yeah.
a popularity contest.
Right.
Not considering that Bear Grylls is SAS as well as a fake. But anyway.
Yeah.
You can be both. You can be two. You can be two things.
Yeah, that's been proven.
You can be both those things.
Mr. Fisk is laughing at me in chat. It's not okay. It's
I
hurtful.
think he's laughing at Justin's remark there.
Oh, swiping right on the Tinder maker. He
Oh,
can be doing both things, for the record.
True. So on to the next round then.
Please.
Just for the record, that's clever, Justin. That's clever. I like it.
For our third matchup, we bring you a round from the 80s. Kit Ray with his Death Head Dagger versus Gil Hibben with his Karate Fighter.
thank you for saying karate. I really.
Because it was from the 80s. I had to, yeah.
Thank you.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
Mr. Fisk is now saying, yeah, Paul, it's not all about you.
See, told you.
So this one actually kind of surprised me a little bit because Kit Ray took this one 56% to 44%.
Fair enough.
The Karate Fighter
Oh.
is an actual knife.
Yep.
And the Death Head Dagger is not an actual dagger, right? Like it's a wall hanger.
It had a bit of an edge. It had a bit of an edge on it.
It was definitely
It was a
poking up.
dagger.
It's constructed
Yes.
well enough to be a dagger. Yes.
Okay, so it is like constructed well enough to hold together. I guess it is Kit Ray, and he does a pretty good job of. Even his wall hanger stuff is pretty well constructed usually.
Decently.
Watching Cold Steel's Chinese Swordbreaker video, they smash it against a bunch of swords, and the only ones that really don't break are the United Cutlery ones, because they're such a soft stainless that they have S bends in them that do one of these all the way through, but they don't
They
break.
didn't break.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, took it 14-11. So
Wow.
pretty
Very
dang
close.
close.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you vote for there, Nigel?
Gil Hibben. Just
Me
because he's
too.
got like
I would have
you-
voted for.
yeah, he's got those sweet moves, and then if all else fails, he'll pull out his like cross-shaped throwing axe and get out the vampire warding charm against him.
I hate it.
Well, and what some people may not know is some of the Gil Hibben stuff that is a little more fanciful, especially from back in the 90s and things like that. He actually helped Kit Ray design a bunch of stuff because I think Kit Ray was going, I don't know if it was through a lag or whether he just wasn't producing anything, but they were still licensed through United Cutlery. So I'm pretty sure there is some Kit Ray designs out there that are actually still designed by Gil Hibben. So there's a little bit of a backstory on the like
Interesting.
help the guy out.
Mhm.
Yeah, now you got to die type of thing, right? Like it's
Thanks for the help. Now you must die.
and there is another thing to go along with the whole like Gil Hibben being in the Knife Throwers Hall of Fame compared to Kit Ray, who makes throwers, but to my knowledge does not have the reputation that Gil Hibben has for throwing back in the day too.
Indeed.
I was going to say, I've read a Gil Hibben throwing knife book. And by read, I mean I flipped all 10 pages of it.
And I mean, if we all remember the scene in Natural Born Killers when a Gil Hibben knife goes flying through the window and takes out the redneck at the beginning.
Yeah, the Highland Bowie.
Yeah, the Highlander.
I do like that Bowie.
You know that Gil Hibben's throw pretty good. So
That they do.
Yeah. All the more reason why I was shocked that he didn't win.
That is fair.
Yeah.
is Paul
Yeah.
dead?
Yeah. A little bit. On that note, I guess we can move on to the next round.
Certainly.
Did I freeze up there for a sec?
No.
Not that I noticed.
You went a little stuttery for a quick second, but nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Me.
The three of you guys freezed up for 30 seconds, and I kind of
Cool.
figured that it was probably my problem and not yours.
Oh, that's
So
not ideal.
No,
Fair
not
enough.
at all.
Alrighty. On our fourth round, we bring you a Canadian fight. Eric Grimsmo versus John Grimsmo. Both armed with the Norseman.
Tactical Tantos.
Please tell me they're
and
fighting.
just for the
in
record, I'm going to throw it out there that one of them is Francis's Norseman because he just sold it. So,
Got to get rid of the evidence.
well, exactly, right? You sell it back to the guy because you get secondary market cheap. He can use it in a battle.
If it's covered in one of the brothers' blood, does that make it more or less collectible?
Yes.
I was going to say that
Which
exact
brother? I guess we'll find out the answer right now.
Eric won 59 against John.
Really?
Indeed.
I wish I could
Indeed.
hear
What was the
people's
vote
reasoning
numbers?
for that.
Eric won. I think it's the beard magic. You know,
What was the numbers? Sorry, for the overall vote?
17-12.
Okay.
Yeah. Fairly close. Does anybody else picture them fighting in their shop?
I was just gonna say, in one of their shop talk videos, they're talking about all the extra space they had out in the backyard of their shop. I like to think that's where it happened. They went out back, for a smoke break, had a disagreement, and then there was one.
Haha. I was going to be honest. I was going to say because I don't know if it's still the same way in their shop now, but they used to have the grinder up on like the second floor.
Mm.
That's where Eric spent most of his time back then, right?
They're in a new shop now.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty cool look. You should check out their videos. It's pretty spacious.
Nice. I was just going to say
for a battle.
he had the high
Real
ground.
good.
So.
Real good for a death battle. For sure.
But yeah, it would have been nice to just drop.
Just drop it over the side and be like, I win.
Or rather, he starts the fight by picking the grinder up over his head and throwing it down over the railing. Yeah.
The opening move is also the closing move.
Indeed.
Darren's saying here, it's a little bit delayed, but Kit Ray would distract Gil Hibben by setting up a throwing target ahead of time and then point it out, and when he was distracted, stab him. Or we were talking about him being kind of like gothy vamp, right? So maybe he bit him.
Just doesn't even bother with a knife, just
Maybe
bites him in the side of the head.
Maybe he
You know
was
how
like
vampires work,
sucked up against the wall with his trench coat, like in the Terminator from before, like we were talking about. But yeah, it's Kit Ray hiding against the wall with his black trench coat.
You don't see me.
Oh, what is that movie?
Mama's Boy.
Mama's
Oh,
Boy,
Grandma's
yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
That scene exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Kit Ray. That's why he wins, right? So
That's it.
He's got those
I understand
freaking
now. I just explained to it.
So I just had a thing pop into my head, and now it's canon as far as I'm concerned. Eric and John took a bandana out of the back of one of their pockets and tied their wrists together.
Oh yeah,
Like
of
the
course.
old school fight in the 50s.
Yep.
We're gonna do this my way.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna move my elbow. I don't need that. I need that.
Get out of here!
Yep.
Naturally.
See, I'm wondering if one of them is slightly nicer boss than the other one, and we had some apprentices voting in our tally. I don't know if Sky FMG or EFMG or whatever his, I don't know if he got in on the voting. Maybe we'll just have to go
didn't
back.
see anything that led me back that direction.
Nothing that smelled a foul play. Yeah.
Just
What
saying,
did you guys
maybe
vote?
there's some underlying politics in that fight that we don't know about in the voting.
Indeed. What did you vote, Nigel?
I think I voted Eric just because I wasn't sure.
I voted Eric on Beard Solidarity, if I'm being honest.
Cool.
Yeah. And I know you didn't vote, but who would you have voted for there, Dennis?
I also probably would have voted Eric as well, only because of the wild man factor. I think, like John, just a little too calculated, a little too engineering. There's not enough X factors. He's got to plan stuff out. And by the time he does that, there's an anvil on his head. Like,
It's all of a sudden a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
I was just going to
he's
say.
going to put up a video saying, "Hey, I need some help with this, solve this stuff," and his brother's in the background.
Acme
Getting all
Rock.
the equipment ready. Yeah.
John's like, we don't even have an anvil. We don't forge things. Where the hell did you even get this? As is being crushed by it.
Where else do I get an anvil from?
Farmer's Market.
Well, of course, it says Acme across the side of it. Now that I know that, right? Like,
Fantastic.
Yep.
And for some reason, it's painted bright red.
I don't
for
like
reasons.
that. I don't like that at all.
Too late.
You shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, he's dead. Sorry, John.
On that note, who's up next?
John's dead. Next.
For our next round, we head into the kitchen. We bring you Gordon Ramsay, armed with a Henkel's chef's knife, versus Chef Kalari with whatever the damn hell he pleases.
Damn hell. Whatever damn hell ass knife he wants.
Yeah.
I like it. This one doesn't surprise me because the guy that I expected to win won, but the margin was that close. 51%, 49% for Chef Kalari.
Oh, very close.
Wow. All right.
The closest we've had in a vote yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they both walked away bleeding on that one, man. Like,
Yeah.
that was a tough battle. Tough battle.
2019. That was their numbers.
Wow. All right.
Shit.
They
So-
both just got to a point of, God damn, there's too much blood in my dish. I can't serve this. We gotta stop fighting.
Mutual frustration is what ended it. I like that.
And then it's Pete from Steve, not Pete.
Super
Steve
Steve.
turned around
Okay.
and stabbed Gordon Ramsay right at the very end as they were walking away. It was like, one last one for the road.
Well, I was going to throw out there, because I would have voted for Chef Kalari as well. You can't forget that he has that broken piece of the Strider knife where he broke the tip of it off. And if you use that as a tiny throwing star into the eyeball, like Chef Ramsay, he's got that no spin Hinkle down on the beginning of his show pretty good, though. So, like I said, it's a tight, both guys are bleeding for sure.
I think when Ramsay breathes in right before he begins screaming, that's when Chef Kalari throws a little broken bit of his Strider or whatever right into his mouth. That's how he gets
to
it.
his mouth.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he's breathing in to start screaming about, lamb sauce and
You gotta know your enemy and go for the targets that count.
Exactly.
He's another chef, go for the mouth. Take out his bread and butter. He can't taste, what good is he cooking?
Well, and both of them really like to yell.
Right.
So if you take away their primary weapon of yelling, then obviously they're at a disadvantage.
Yep.
Because this entire fight would probably have a lot of yelling. Like,
More yelling than stabbing, probably.
What I was going to say is, if Gordon Ramsay had gotten up off his ass and voted in our poll, it would have been a dead tie. Because Chef Kalari voted for himself, and Gordon Ramsay didn't vote. And
That's
if he
funny.
had, that's what you get, Gordon Ramsay.
He could have been alive today. Such a shame.
Way to go. You dug your own grave, Ramsey.
Friggin' Ramsay.
Oh, as if he I gotta say, as if he gives a shit.
It's like an ant trying to stab you in the foot. And on that note, we are getting dangerously close to our first break.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking here. It's going on 40 minutes now.
Indeed. Mr. Fisk is saying it's almost like they're both polarizing characters, which, I mean...
You're not wrong.
But yeah, this is very true.
As long as one of them starts the fight with "Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch," then
not
we're
one
talking.
of them. It has to be Gordon Ramsay.
They'll both say it to each other at the same time, and then awkwardly stumble at trying to get another word in edgewise, and then get frustrated and start screaming.
And then all of a sudden they pull the scene from Step Brothers where they're like, "Did we just become best friends again?" Like it because it's repetitive.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to go do karate in the garage? Yup.
And then
And then they go and do karate in the garage.
obviously Chef Kalari is
Cut his brother in half with a machete.
Wrong movie.
Doesn't matter. That's how I feel about it. Somebody's cutting somebody in half with a machete.
Fair enough.
On that note.
So yeah.
Let's go on the break.
We're going to head off on a break here and refreshing our drinks and all that. So suggest that all you out there in YouTube land do the same as well. We will be back shortly here for more of your entertainment.